Hello everyone, Katsudon Roscoe here today, and I'm going to do something that I've never done before for the first time. I've always wanted to do it, but for the longest time it's been lingering on me. What is it that you might ask? Putting up my clothes. Okay, no. Nah. What nah. What I'm actually going to do today is review one of my favorite games of all time. Klonoa Door to phantomile. Yes, I know I own the Wii version. I don't own the PS1 version, and also I don't own the PS1. So I'm gonna have to hold this just to fill out that clear space, okay? Okay. Anyway, I've been wanting to do a review on this game for a long time, but didn't think I was ready. Though at this point, I feel like I am ready now. So we're gonna go ahead and see how I do on my first review, well, first game review in terms of this. Also, I apologize if I may, stutter or mumble or whatever may go on this review, I guess, or if I forget things about my boy as well. A lot of that is gonna happen regardless. So let's hope that it all goes well, cause boy, does it make me nervous. Okay, so to get started on something, if anyone is new to Klonoa, then I already know what your first question is exactly. What is Klonoa? Or more importantly, who is he? I tell you guys right now, this is by far the one question a lot of people ask me whenever I bring up the dude. Just what on earth is he? Well, let's take a back seat for a bit and go over a bit of things. Klonoa is owned by a game company known as Bandai Namco, who are most known for making games like Pac-Man, Mr. Driller, the Tales of series, Tekken, Soul Calibur, and many others. When it comes to calling out a company to someone like your friend or family, they most likely know some of the characters from those companies. Like, when someone says Sega or Nintendo, what are the characters that come to mind when you point out those franchises? Okay, if someone says Sonic, I mean not Sonic, if someone says Sega to me, I'm gonna think of Sonic, or Knights, or Super Monkey Ball, or Billy Hatcher. One of those. If someone says Nintendo, I'm gonna think of Mario, Metroid, Animal Crossing, Splatoon, and a bunch of others that it has. But with Namco, what type of games do you think of when it comes to that company? You would probably think of Pac-Man, Tekken, Soul Calibur, or Galaga. Probably one of those that come to my mind basically. Klonoa, however, isn't really a character you'd think of normally like Sonic, Mario, or Kirby when it comes to a game company. Klonoa is just that one kid that doesn't join the pack that much, yet stays out on his own like he's the biggest introvert, like someone who just doesn't want to go outside and play with his friends. He more so would rather stay inside and just do his own thing. That's how it tends to be when it comes to Klonoa. He's just not that known when it comes to Namco himself. Like, he's very on the down low, though, in terms of Namco. Like, if anyone in this world knows Klonoa, then you are the most luckiest person. Because I bet you money that no one would bring up his name if they are a Namco fan. I mean, for Namco fans, I would say yes, but it's like if you know of Namco, like just a hint of it, then Klonoa may pretty much not be brought up at all. So really consider yourself lucky if you know him at all. But other than that, let me go over how Klonoa was developed because to tell you guys a fun fact, Klonoa didn't always start out like this. Yeah, I know that's going to confuse a lot of you, and it surprised me too when I looked more into it. So, Klonoa was created by Hideo Yoshizawa, who is known for making the Ninja Gaiden games, and designed by Yoshihiko Ara. At the time around the 1990s, Namco was in a discussion to create a new IP. After a lot of that went through, Hideo was given the word to create a new IP with the tools he had at the time. On top of that, Hideo wanted to go the simplistic route and make much of an easy platforming game. Considering that 3D games were kind of the hype around that time, like Mario 64 and I guess Crash 1, Hideo felt that those were hard wanting to make them. hate them, which I can understand. So he wanted to go for a 2D type of gameplay. But hey, why go 2D when you could put 3D and 2D together and make 2.5D? And thus Klonoa's gameplay became a thing. Another thing is that, other than the gameplay, Hideo wanted to have the game be story-driven. Considering games were very simple with storytelling, like how Mario is just, save the princess from Bowser, or Sonic is just trying to stop Dr. Eggman. Hideo wanted to go a different route with his story. Everything in the story revolved around a dream idea with something kids and adults could get into. Arya's first design for Klonoa was someone named Shady, who had a shadow-like appearance. I don't think there's any art of this character around the internet, as far as I'm aware, but I figured that it was Klonoa, but covered all in black, like a ninja-looking animal is what we got here, I guess. But Ari, however, felt that the lack of color did not seem tasteful, and therefore dropped the design. His next design was created with animal eyes and long ears, as Ari felt that a person's eyes and silhouette are the features noticed when they are met for the first time, which I can understand, because if you're gonna create a character, really make sure they stand out there and they don't really blend in with the crowd or anything. So on top of that, he added a large hat with a Pac-Man emblem on it, and the collar to give the character a childlike and energetic quality. And thus we have Klonoa. Another early design for Klonoa was him to be a robot-like stone figure brought to life by a human soul being trapped in it. What? Not too sure what they were going to do with this, but for what I can say, I'm glad they just stuck with how Klonoa looks now. This robot design felt as if they were going to do a Metroid-like game, and felt like it was going to go down the drain and die off instantly. So yeah, let's all be happy this is what Klonoa looks like right now. Okay? Very happy. Okay, I think I've said enough about Klonoa's origins. There may be more in there that I could be forgetting, but I'll have you guys take care of that yourselves. Like, if you have more of an interest of seeing like more into it, then I'll definitely leave it to you. It's like I gave you the gist of it, so there we go. Anyway, so let's get going with the story. But if you want to avoid all of what I'm going to talk about, then please skip to this part of the video. So when you begin the story, you'll start seeing a ring slowly falling down with text appearing. Just to give context, this is Klonoa saying this, but more so him wondering if you ever had the same experience as him, which I do relate. Moving on, we are in the forest where we witnessed our protagonist, who is seen chasing the butterfly until an explosion happens and everyone dies. Oh! No, just kidding. It was just the ring we saw in the prologue that hit the ground. It's all good, guys. It's all good. Come on. Come on, cover now. It's all good. Dude, come on. I need you for this. We need to. Okay, if you don't get out of there, I'm gonna. Oh, no. Hell no. You get back over here right now. Over here right now. Get your pussy ass back over here. When Klonoa goes ahead and pulls out the ring, a mysterious blue spirit pops out of it, and very quickly the two become friends and go running back home. Huh. Klonoa is making friends already. How about that? However, another explosion happens. No, just kidding, it's another trick, guys, okay? Come on, get from over there. That's what I thought. Something ends up crashing on the hill, and then things start to become both dark and scary. Oh, it was a dream. Whew! Thank God Klonoa and Hupo are safe. Oh my God. A little bit afterwards, something else crashes on Bell Hill. Klonoa and Hupo both hear the crash and quickly make do of heading over there to see what's up. Once our heroes finally make it to the top, they see two baddies named Gadius and Joka, with a girl knocked out cold named Laphise, a diva from the Moon Kingdom who can revamp the whole world of Phantomile with her Song of Rebirth. It isn't long until Gadius ends up hearing our two heroes and quickly puts Laphise in his cloak and then flies off to heaven. I always found it amusing with the way of how Gadius just flies With Gaius gone, Joka is left to cope with. Our two heroes go take on Joka, but he'll leave it to his pet. Um. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. Once the battle is done, Joka escapes, but then something falls out of the bell. A moon pendant, which the two take to Grandpa, wondering if he can help them out. Grandpa suggests that Klonoa and Hupo head over to Forlock Forest to meet with Granny to see if she can help them out. So Klonoa and Hupo make their way over there. So far, what you guys have been hearing from me is rather a simple story. A diva crashes into a bell, our heroes go there to see what's up, and then the attack takes her away. From that, you guys may think, okay, the story is something as simple as Mario saving Princess Peach from Bowser. And I won't blame you guys from thinking that just from little of what I gave you from it. But no, allow me to dive a little deeper into the story. So when our heroes reach Forlock Forest, they hit a dead end when a soldier tells them no water is flowing. Konoha and Hupo head over to Jugpot and notice the water is strangely floating backwards. Huh. Okay. Weird. Which is why no water is getting to Forlock. So after dealing with a possessed King Seedoff and a fish's mother, the water gets back to normal, meaning they can now continue getting to Granny. Right after they deal with more Joker's, or I mean, his goons. God, this guy doesn't know when to quit. So in Fallout Forest, Joka ties up Granny and tries to ramble the information out of her. But thank God our heroes arrived and saved the day! Yay! What Granny says, she gives important info about the Moon Pendant, saying that the Moon Pendant is the key to the Moon Kingdom, though an offering needs to be put on the Temple of the Sun's pedestal. Little did they know that Joka was eavesdropping on them the whole time, which screams bad news for them because not only did he overhear the moon pendant information, he also knows where the pendant is thanks to Klonoa giving it up when Granny was asking him the location of it. There's no time to waste. Klonoa and Hupo rush through the Wind Ruins, a shortcut that Granny recommended to them, hoping to make it to Grandpa in time. Which they do, but Joka gets there in time by plane and does the unthinkable. Yep, that just happened. This shot the hell out of me too. Like all the times of me thinking that this game was gonna be nothing but cuteness and happiness, and then all of a sudden this happens. Death in a child's game. What the hell? And no, it does not stop there. After you get done with another one of Joker's boss goons, Konoha runs back to check on Grandpa, who is somehow still barely alive even after that explosion. Like, goddamn, that dude is very strong-willed. But with little breath Grandpa has, he ends up passing away. And if you guys think that was hurtful, Just wait until I show you guys how this game ends. So usually when it comes to the end of kids games, a lot of times the ending is filled with happiness and joy. Like with a Mario game, you beat Bowser and say Princess Peach, and then boom, you win. The credits roll, and that's it. You move on. Come on, like hell yeah, I beat the game. What now? Klonoa, however, doesn't do that. It actually takes a different route and instead leaves a big impact on you. When you get to level 6-2, Hupo reveals himself to Klonoa that he's actually the Prince of the Moon Kingdom. While this might be a bit of a surprise to both the player and Klonoa, it may not seem like much at first. But when you guys beat the final boss and get to the end, Hupo tells the truth to Klonoa. So going back a bit, when you guys play the game, it makes you believe that Klonoa was born here. Hupo actually summoned Klonoa here to help them, and phantomile isn't his world. He put fake memories in Klonoa's mind to make him and the player think it was all real. When Klonoa hears this, he really takes it to heart. Like he gets really pissed off because he really does not want to believe any of this is real. But what Hupo is saying is true. Klonoa really is not from this world. I tell you, when I first saw this scene, I was like, "Oh my god, what the hell? Like you seriously did all this to me so I could help you, and you didn't bother telling me any of this until now? What kind of person are you, Hupo?" And then this happens. I can't tell you guys how much this scene hurts me. Konoha just happy that it's all over until his friend explains to him that none of this is real, he lied to him, and then he just gets taken away. Holy shit, that is very messed up, especially for a 9-year-old. Like damn, nothing was holding back in this game. They really wanted to hurt you, and oh boy did they. Everyone who's played this game and seen the ending have suffered emotional damage, and so have I. It just does not get old no matter how many times I look back at it. And yeah, pretty surprising how a kid game leaves you with a broken heart. Or it's like I wanted to be left with being happy like yay, but then I'm being left with oh my god. Like this ending really left me speechless with so many questions coming to my mind. Like, is Klonoa still alive? Where is Klonoa now? Will Hupo and Klonoa ever meet again? A lot of that was going through me as the credits were rolling in the game. And to stop you guys right now, if you guys are thinking, okay, I'm pretty sure there's a secret ending that'll show where he is, right? I'm pretty sure there is. Well, I hate to break it to you, but nope. There is no secret ending at all. It's just the ending, and that's it. Yeah. After the credits, it tells you you saved your game, and then has you going back to the stage select. Nothing else. But I guess that's all I have to say for that. For the story itself and what I think of it as a whole, I'm just gonna say I love the story a lot. The characters, the villains, the tone, everything felt so amazing. Like, there's not a moment in the story where I rolled my eyes at something or got bored. I was so invested in the world Klonoa was in, the different places he went to, and what secrets were untold. Like, every time I played this game, I always watch the cutscenes, and I don't tend to skip them that often. And I must say, I don't tend to do stuff like that often with games. So this one's a big winner, I'll say. The characters themselves have their own quirks that make them unique, and gotta say, Baloo, the Forlock Forest Guards, Solar and Solaire, Joka, Gaudius became favorites of mine. I will say you don't get to see some of the characters that often. They do enough to lay their mark, yes. For example, Solar and Soleil. The only time you meet them is in 5-1 of the Sun Temple. You see them only twice, and that's it. While that's not enough time, their dynamic dialogue with each other does work it all out. I like the idea of one being nice and the other being an asshole. And I like how when Salil calls himself and his bro wimps, it always gets a chuckle out of me. Of course, if there's one thing I like the most about this game, or the story, it's Klonoa himself. Not because he's super cute, but he's just very characteristic. What I like is how he reacts to a lot of things in this story, or how Baloo yells at him. It's very quirky, but I like every bit of it. As if I was actually him, and I was going through these events myself. Whenever Klonoa was happy, I was happy. Whenever Klonoa is mad, I'm mad. Whenever Klonoa is sad, I'm sad. I like it when the game does that because I have a very imaginative mind. Yet seeing Klonoa witness everything really started to work with me. It just really hits on the nose, and boy does it work a lot. The presentation is also great as well. Other than the FMVs, which are super breathtaking, I will not lie, because boy almighty do I just love seeing each and every one of them every time I play the game myself. The sprite-based cutscenes are very well put to test. A lot of characters in this game emote, from Klonoa to Baloo to Hupo to other characters too, of what I know of. A lot of them do emo, and I gotta just say that's very impressive for a sprite game, and it's very interesting to me too because this is a 1997 game with great presentation overall. And around that time, we had games on the PS1 like Resident Evil 1 and 2, like Resident Evil 1, 2, and also Metal Gear Solid. In which case, one game had alright or good voice acting, but both suffered bad presentations.
Tyrant. Chris? Stop it.
Wesker, you're pitiful.
I'm here to save you. You're the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, right?
You here to save me, huh? What's your outfit?
Speaking of voice acting, the game itself does include that too, but it's not as regular as you would think it is. Yeah, it was very odd to me at first, but I grew to it. Every character in Klonoa speaks a language called phantomile, which is basically gibberish, but still in their own language. Almost every character speaks a certain sound when talking that do mean something. For example, Chadapa means thanks, and Ruppudidu means let's go. It's so unique and something I like that they put a lot of use into. Hell, it even sticks out more when they include good voice acting into it. Going back to when I said when Klonoa feels sad, I can feel it, the acting conveys that. Like, just hear how Klonoa sounds when he's sad. Or when he's angry. It isn't just gibberish voice acting just put in there for show. No, it's put in there for good detail. Everything about it is good, and I could go on and on of how much I love voice acting, how great it is, and whatever. But I should save my breath, because I don't want to linger all around that. Well, I guess I said all I could about the story. Let's get into the gameplay. If there's one thing I could say about DTP, I must say that other than us getting PRS years later, going back to playing the original isn't all that bad. Other than a few problems I'll get into later, I can definitely say this game still holds up several years later. With Klonoa being 2.5D, his gameplay ain't really anything you would see from basic characters like Mario or Sonic, for example. Don't get me wrong, Klonoa may look that way, but there's more to it. First off, Klonoa can take up to 6 hits before dying, as you can see right here on your HUD display. Get hit once and the heart shrinks into a tiny one. Checkpoints in this game are clocks that ring when you shoot them out of a bubble, which I like the idea of because it's as if Klonoa is dreaming and you're waking him up at certain points. Klonoa, however, can't do much on his own besides jumping and fluttering. He can't kill enemies by jumping on their heads like Mario and Sonic do. There are no power-ups Klonoa gets like Mario and Sonic, and there's no invincibility in this game like Mario and Sonic. Every enemy, including boss fights, are taken care of by your wind ring, something that Klonoa has with him and pretty much throughout the whole entire series. By pressing the square button or the circle button on the PS1 controller, Klonoa will shoot out a wind bullet, allowing him to inflate an enemy and hang on to them. With an enemy at your disposal, you have one of two options. You can either throw them, which counts as an attack that can hurt others, or as a double jump for you to get to where you need to go. Gotta say, it's unique, but dang, I'm feeling bad for the moves themselves. Just the nightmare they are going through as they are getting inflated by Klonoa. Though that's pretty much all Klonoa has to his arsenal. The ring is the only weapon you use to proceed and nothing else. In fact, this becomes a staple mechanic throughout the Klonoa series. Every enemy including boss fights are taken care of by using your wind ring. Which is fine because all of the level design in the levels does enough to convey it. Like I gotta say, there's not a moment in this game when I said I wish the ring could do something different. While that would be nice in the game, it doesn't need that per se. I still find myself having fun even without the idea of the ring not doing much other than grabbing enemies. Enemies themselves do come in different designs too that can give the player some challenge on needing to grab them. On top of that, depending on the enemy Klonoa does grab, it can have a different effect too. Take for example a Boomy. These enemies explode after a bit, however if you throw or use them as a double jump they don't pop. Then there are enemies like the Burnies where you have to wait until their ring of fire opens up to grab them. Or huge ass moves that can be used as a stool when shot at. Or these propeller enemies that'll let you stay in the air for a bit before it goes away. There's all kinds of enemies in this game that do something different, and the variety is definitely there for you. Especially when the enemies make platforming and attacking interesting with the level design some stages and bosses have. For collectibles, switches, enemies, there's always something a move can be used for, thanks to the 2.5D design of the game. Let me go more into that. So the thing about Klonoa is that he's stuck on the 2D plane. You can't exit out of it at all, and can only follow along the path it takes you. If you see a collectible on another path, you have to find the path that'll take you right to it. There's always different pathways that can take you to other areas, which makes for tons of exploration. Something amazing Klonoa does is how it has the player interact with the environment. Notice how there's an egg not on a path I'm on. It's out of bounds. How am I supposed to get that egg? By doing this. Yes, one thing that's done a lot in this game is throwing enemies out of bounds and grabbing items or killing enemies. Unlike Sonic, for example, Klonoa doesn't look straight up when you turn the D-pad up, or doesn't duck when you go down on the D-pad. He'll instead look away from the screen or towards it to aim his shots. This type of strategy is done with a lot of things in the game, and it's very fun to try it out. Yeah, especially in boss fights too. I like how the boss fights utilize this mechanic. While some bosses are easy to take down, many others will lay down the groundwork. My favorite bosses are Cursed Pamela, Balladium, and Joka. Cursed Pamela has you grabbing Seed off and throwing him at Pamela as she jumps over the circle platform. Balladium has you on a bridge being moved forward and back. As you move back, you grab an enemy and then damage them as you are swung towards them. Then Joka has you running around on blocks that make a circle. Throw enemies at him and he'll change the day into dark, which makes him invincible. You can fix that up by changing the blocks back to yellow. No matter the boss fight, it'll range from piss easy to crazy hard, and boy do I like how the challenge is in this game. For aesthetics, I gotta say Klonoa has some breathtaking scenery with its stages. A lot of its style really makes the game pop a lot, especially for a lot of its environments. All of the levels have their unique themes, from the beautiful waterfalls in Jugpot to the scary atmosphere in Wind Ruins. One of my favorites being the Moon Kingdom. The night tone, the colors, the type of enemies, and most importantly, the music. Oh my god. The music in this game is outstanding. Every piece matches the stage you're in. From the happy startup of the first level, to the astonishing sounds of Jugpot, to the smooth starry feel of the Moon Kingdom. Every stage has it all, and man does it not get tiring one bit. Pulling a bit back though, this game does have some collectibles that you can go after, like the Dreamstones, which are these green diamonds, or phantomilions, which are villagers trapped in bubbles that was part of Gaudius' work. I'll tell you right now, the only thing that matters is the phantomilions. The Dreamstones, I'll explain later when I get into my low points of this game. Though, when you collect all the phantomilions, you not only get access to a challenge stage, you also get to hear this catchy tune. If you collect all the phantomilions within a stage, they'll be on display and start to play a song. What I like is every time you collect some phantomilions, they play the song for a bit, but won't finish until you collect them all. Now for the challenge stage. If you guys remember back in stage 1, Blue was building a tower to reach the Moon Kingdom to seal a feast. When you go to that challenge stage, it shows that he's done building it. To just let you guys know, this isn't really canon to the story, as far as I'm aware. Just a little fun side thing. But my god, I question why and how the hell is the tower like this? Is Baloo trying to kill me? Good lord. Well, at least once you're all done, you get access to the music box, which allows you to listen to any song in the game. Getting back on track though, Klonoa has up to 12 levels in this game. 14 if you count the last boss and the challenge stage. Stages are called visions in this game, which I guess is kind of a way to point out the dream aesthetic. There are 6 worlds in this game total, and every world has 2 visions each, with the second vision always having a boss at the end of it. So adding all that up, and you got yourself a 3-hour, 4-hour-ish game. Mostly adding up if you explore or something. Like, if you don't care for all that, you should be able to beat it within the time frame of like maybe 2 hours, I guess, or so, maybe shorter, but more so around that, considering myself, since I'm much of an explorer, so of course it would take me that long to finish the game. With the first game in the series, it doesn't need to overstate its welcome with anything. It's alright the way it is, and that's good enough for me. Another thing I like about this game is the sound design. If there is a way I can describe Klonoa, it's goofy. Like, this game has a knack for being goofy. For example, when you throw an enemy at a wall, or into another enemy, it makes a cartoonish noise. And I love hearing it every time because it's just so amusing. Well, I think I covered all the things I like about this game. I guess I'll start by talking about the downsides of this game now. I may love this game to death, but there are a few problems this game has. I'll start off with the Dreamstones. So the Dreamstones in this game are pretty much your coins of this game, or rings. When you get to 100, you'll get an extra life. But the Dreamstones aren't just there for lives. In every level, there are 150 Dreamstones in total. When you get all of them, a Dreamstone will appear next to the stage. What does this mean? Absolutely nothing. You just do this for bragging rights, and that's it. Like, you don't unlock anything amazing when you collect all of them. Literally nothing. Which sucks because they could have been useful for something in the game other than just for lives. Hell, speaking of bragging rights, good luck on getting 150 because, my god, that can be a pain sometimes in Klonoa. Not much in the first game since it's easy to collect all the Dreamstones. Sometimes. One thing I forgot to talk about in this game was the fairy. In every level of the game, you'll see this fairy that doubles the Dreamstone's value. Now, when shot, you have to haul ass and get as many Dreamstones as you can. The biggest problem about this is that this counts towards trying to get 150 Dreamstones, meaning you have to be very sure that you get the right amount of Dreamstones in that one section. Because if you freak up, you have to deliberately kill yourself and do it over again. Christ, the amount of times I messed up and had to redo it over and over was very problematic. On top of that, stage selection isn't something you get access to when you start the game. Yes, that is correct. When you first play the game, it's going to progress you through the stages. When you beat a stage, you go to the next level. When you finally beat the game, you can select any stage from the stage select screen. The main problem, however, is that Dreamstone collecting isn't something you can do until you beat the game. Collecting Dreamstones from the start is mostly there for lives, so the first playthrough is pointless, while the second playthrough is what matters. Although, for phantomilians, it does count for the first playthrough, so always be sure to get those. My second problem is Klonoa's controls. Klonoa from a viewing point may look like he controls fine. Moving left and right is very responsive and isn't clunky. What's the problem is Klonoa not being able to stop properly. If you run a long distance and then stop, Klonoa will slide for a bit. This type of thing can lead to deaths that weren't your fault at all. I can't count the number of times where I stopped but forgot, wait, Klonoa slides, and then accidentally fall to my death. Like God, Klonoa, clean your shoes for once or you'll end up in an accident.
Sandy? Oh, what happened?
You ran inside and slipped on an ice cube.
Well, okay, I think I'm done talking about this game, and good lord, look at the time. Yeah, I'll just get right to the conclusion. Overall, Klonoa 1 is a big blast from beginning to end, and such a joy to play over every time. I just can't be happy enough with myself being lucky that I know Klonoa. Like, guys, I was lucky to end up with Klonoa thanks to me getting this game by accident, which I will have to talk about in the next video with Klonoa 2. Because if I didn't, well, I don't think I would have known about Klonoa until years later. I really wish I got this game as a kid for my PS1 console, but I wasn't born at the time, so getting it was futile. And no, I can't simply buy it because holy shit, does that game make you wish you were a millionaire. Like, look at this. Do I look like someone who has that type of money? Absolutely not. You guys are better off emulating the game, buying off the PS3 store if it's still up anyway, or playing it on the Namco collection, which I think is Japanese only. So there's that. For PRS Fantasy Reverie series, that's probably the only available version for you if you don't want to emulate the other versions. It's $40 on all consoles, and yet can go on sale for $25, I think. So if you are watching this video right now, I am on my knees begging you to please buy this game and support Klonoa as much as possible. In no way do I want my buddy to ever be forgotten. Okay, I think it's best if I get out of here now because I'm way too in this video. I thank you guys for watching this. Again, I've been planning to do this for ages and was glad I could do it because I have a lot of passion for Klonoa and I want him to succeed. So, and want to give him more viral attention to you guys because again, he's great and I want people to know that. Also, by the way, I suggest you guys take a look at speed runs of this game too. It's fun seeing what people can do when it comes to getting around stages in this game. If there's one person I can recommend to you guys, it's NeilLegend VT. He does a bunch of Klonoa speed runs. So if you want to learn a lot of tricks on how to get around the game in crazy ways, go watch him on Twitch and check out his YouTube too. So anyway, I thank you all for watching, but before I leave, let me show you guys places you can find me and my art on. So for my drawings, if you guys want to see those in real time, follow me on Twitch. And if you guys want to see my art, you can also follow me on X, I mean Twitter, or DA. Okay, I think I'm done now. Let me look at my list and see if I forgot or anything. Do I? Okay, I guess. It's on there, so let's do it. Okay guys, that's it for that. But before I go into my ending session, I do have a quick, or not really quick, but somewhat of a Q&A session to go over. Questions that you guys asked me in Twitter, or a Q&A thing that I put on Twitter and I asked you guys to answer. So I will go ahead and go over the type of people who go over the people who asked me questions about the game. So first I will, and apologies if I say your name wrong at all. I can never get names right if that's the case. So first off is Graphaye. I hope I'm saying that right. Graphaye. So your first question was, which design you like the most for Klonoa? Well, to answer your question, the design I like the most for Klonoa would have to be his first design, which is the red collar one. Why do I like it? It just fits him so much. It's like, really, just look at him. It's like me just seeing a little kid just wearing something like this. Like, you know, just throw a little something on him, make him play around, and then he just goes outside and just, you know, does whatever. It's like, that's what I love the most about this one right here. It just screams Klonoa, it screams cuteness, and just, you know, I want to, like, hug him and never let go. It's like, that is just, you know, the best thing I could say about the character design itself when I see him in that. So, it just works a lot when I see something like that. And don't get me wrong, the other character, or not character, but the other clothing designs for him are fine. Like the blue zipper shirt one for him in Klonoa 2. That's also great. And even better that they have it in PRS. I even love seeing him wear that costume other than the red collar one. Like, I don't know, something about that costume, something about seeing him in that costume, or something about seeing Klonoa 1 in Klonoa 2's costume just makes it even cuter. Like goddamn, the cuteness will never escape him. It's like you just got to you know, understand that that will never leave him whatsoever. Never. But yeah, one is my favorite. 2, I love 2, and I also have and I also love the Wii costume as well. And he has a bunch of others and he has like others too, like the Wii or not Wii, the movie costume as well. Well, that's another thing too. So it's like no matter what he wears, I do like it, but one will definitely be my favorite for others. And your next Graffaye, your next question is: do you think the remake sold well for them to make a new Klonoa game? For what I can say, yes, it did so well. If I were to look at the numbers from before, like everywhere on Twitter and stuff, it said it sold phantomile copies. Like literally, this is the one game, if I'm correct, that sold way more than any other Klonoa game. More than Klonoa 1, Klonoa 2. It's like this game definitely hit right on the mark for being the best-selling one out of those. And which is big for Klonoa himself, doesn't mean it could be a big hit for Namco though, because it depends on what happens. Like the creator, like for those who don't know, the creator did say that if this game, if the PRS game got lots of love, like not sales but love. Like I don't know if it depends on sales, but he said that if it got lots of love, he would continue the series. So it's a big maybe. It's a big maybe that he'll make a third game or make something else. I do not know, but it's a big maybe. So okay. So all I can say is that we cross our fingers tightly and pray that a third game comes out, and we can all be very happy. Is all I can say. So next question from my dude Bullet. Do you still have high hopes of a hypothetical Klonoa 3 happening? Well, as I said with Grahea's answer, sorry if I said that wrong. As I said with their question, I want to hope that one happens. I can definitely see one happening in the near future. I can only hope, because Klonoa means a lot to me, and all I can say is that we can hopefully have a third game. Like, you can see with me that I'm only hoping that a third game happens, because I've waited so many, because like after the Wii, it's been literally years upon years of us waiting for Klonoa to have a comeback with that comic of theirs that sadly stopped in 2014, but you can continue with the Dream Crusaders. And also that movie that sadly got canceled. God damn it. But then we got this game, which is a remaster of Klonoa 1 and 2, or a remake of Klonoa 1 and 2. And all I can say is that it's great because now everyone who hasn't played the game before can actually, play it for once and actually see what they're missing out on. So that's something I'm very happy about. But is it enough for but do I hope for Klonoa 3 to happen? Yes, I do. Will it happen? Don't know. We have to wait and only hope to God that a lot of love has gone to the series. So yeah, let's just hope. What exactly drew you into Klonoa when you first discovered it? What first impressions did the character leave on you? Okay, so here's the thing. The first part of that question, as in what exactly drew you into Klonoa when I first saw him, okay, it would have to be the clothes or something, because like for those who don't know, something I'll say in my next review when I review Klonoa 2, I only got into Klonoa because of his look, and because he just screamed Sonic the Hedgehog to me. It's like, ooh, that looks like Sonic, I need to grab it. So I just got it, and it's like it wasn't Sonic, but it's like, still, it was interesting to me as a kid when just seeing that character, just what he can do and stuff, and it was fine. It's like, I like what I was seeing here. It was good. I mean, all I can say is that as a kid, not much of things, what's the word I'm looking for? Not much of things resonate with me. So it's like I just play it, move on, and it's like, okay, what next? Stuff like that. But all I can say is that, yeah, it was mostly his design and stuff that definitely lured me in to it. So that's one part of it. Now, what first impressions did the character leave on you? I don't know what I can say how the game left me, when I played it, but all I can say is that I did have fun with it when I played it for my first time. It was fun, it was cool, and I did like it. And then moving on with like the Wii was my second game that I played, and playing that I also had fun. I loved it, and I played that a whole bunch of times. But it's like I must say it's like it did get me. Like it did get me afterwards, because like we all got heartbroken with that game. But the first impressions with me as a kid, it's like, again, not too sure, because I don't really have that many first impressions, or the same, like, you know, it was fun, and that's it. As an adult, for what I can say as my first impressions with like stuff, it's like my first impression with Klonoa, loved it. Great guy, or great character, great world, great characters, great everything. That's the most I could say, and something I always love coming back to every single time. Because yeah, that game is my everything, and something that just helps build more of my world inside of my head of what I can think of more. So yeah, hope I answered that right for you, Bullet. Okay, last question. VTuber ToonCat, has the story of Door to Phantomile ever had an impact on your life? Like, for example, seeing yourself as the titular character, or seeing yourself as the title character or the sidekicks. Yes, actually, because I did speak about that in my review. That even today, when playing the game, I always see myself as Klonoa. I definitely do, because the thing is that other than like every other character that's in the game, which are good characters, Klonoa always spoke to me. It's like every time he's on screen, I always feel like I'm him, wondering, you know, what's going on in the world, or who is this, who is that, did you just do that? No, it's like I said, when he's sad, I'm sad. When he's angry, I'm angry. Like, I can feel it. Like, it's one of those characters that definitely, you know, hit you right on the spot, and you can just feel the impact right there as if you are literally them in this moment. And it does a good job with it every time. And which is one of the reasons why I always like playing this game, and why I do play a lot, because of the fact that I just like to picture myself as Klonoa, as that one character who just goes through everything and just has like a wild moment through a lot of things, of him going through places, fighting different bosses, experiencing new things, and also pain. But yeah, that's what I could say. Always Klonoa, not much of anyone else, since I don't really get connected with other people other than them being good characters. It's like I don't really see myself being much of anyone else in terms of him. I mean, I also picture myself, like, you know, in the story, being Klonoa's sidekick and all, and like what we would do together in like something. I can picture that too. I have an imaginative memory of how it goes. So something. I mean, I hope that answers your question. But yeah, it does impact a lot of me. So that's what I could say.